So if you're in the market for a new pickup truck and you want something in the new body style, this would be something you might want to take a look at. It's a little more affordable. It's in the quad cab. It's the SXT 4x4, so it has a few extra goodies on it. We did add the SXT appearance package. So normally on a Tradesman, you get like black bumpers and steel wheels. When you upgrade, you get the chrome bumpers, the chrome grills, you get a nice cloth bench seat inside. Comes with a power sliding rear window. Comes with Sirius XM satellite radio, and of course you get the aluminum wheels, and it just kind of dresses up everything a little bit. A couple of neat things about this one, it also comes with a 3.6 liter V6 with etorque. Now basically what that means is you get about another 90 foot-pounds of torque. There's a 48 volt lithium-ion battery behind the back seat. Basically it spins up there's a little motor that spins the cam in the engine, and that gets you that extra torque off idle. So 90% of your torque's available between 1800 and all the way up to 6400 RPM. So it's a lot torquier if you're pulling like a heavy load, or you're trying to, get out of the, passing in traffic off a stoplight or something like that. It's going to be a little bit better for that. So out of the hole, it's just quite a bit quicker. Now across the front, you're going to notice we talked earlier about like the chrome bumpers and everything. That's part of the SXT package. I'm just going to set my clipboard down here so I don't drop it. So you can see on the front, it's got, like I said, the chrome grille with the nice little insets pointing into the ram head, and then the nice chrome bumpers as well. The nice thing about the chrome bumpers is they don't chip up and rust as bad. You can still chip them, I guess, but usually you can clean them up with like a really fine steel wool if you do get a little bit of scratches on. I mean, just be careful if you take my advice there that you just kind of do it real lightly so you don't scratch the chrome grille up too much. I've seen that happen before too in our detail departments over the years. On the side, we got some nice aluminum wheels. Dresses it up a little bit. Nice thing too with the aluminum wheels, they're a little bit lighter than the steel, so it's supposed to be easier on your front end components. I don't know how much I buy into that, but I guess it's true. I mean, if it's 10 pounds lighter or whatever it is, it's going to make a difference. Inside we got a nice cloth bench seat. Now, one thing I want to point out here, I'm just going to turn the volume down here. This armrest here does flip up out of the way. So if you did want to, your girlfriend could sleep, sit in the middle and sit beside you if you guys are going on a long road trip. This does flip down. Inside here, there's a little storage area. Got a little cubby hole for throwing some junk in there. Got a little tray here for storing stuff. A couple of cup holders in here too, which is kind of nice. Seats are nice and comfortable. They got like side bolster supports. They've done some nice stuff with the fabric too, with like a little tread pattern in there to kind of mix it up and dress it up a little bit. Got a little shelf in here. This does have a little tray. This just lifts out. So if you do get it kind of all gummed up, you can take that out and kind of wipe it down in a wash bucket or something so it's easy to clean. In here, this just opens up. There's your owner's manuals and all your books and stuff like that. Comes with floor mats right from the factory. They also got these nice little clips that hold them in place so they don't slide all over the place on you. So you can just kind of snap them down.
Part sign 1, please.
On the door trim, lots of storage pockets. So that because you're into a Tradesman, the SXT, a little bit fancier. You get all the mat pockets. They don't just, do the flat door thing. They kind of dress that up a little bit. Back windows, you get the privacy glass. Same with the rear. That's a power sliding rear window. Okay, so there's a switch. It's actually in that overhead console part. We'll look at it when we get over there. But this is power operated, so you can just open and close it right from the front dash. This seat, you got 3 seat belts in the back, so if you had to, you could put 3 people back here. Don't know if I'd want to go on a trip to Edmonton and back here, but I guess a pinch to go downtown or something would be fine. This also flips up. And underneath you got like a nice flat load floor there so you could store some stuff, keep some things out of the way. If you want to just carry some cargo with you, you can. On the little console back here, it's got 2 little vents too for the rear passengers so they can kind of direct their AC where they want it to blow. And these are your heater vents too. They upgraded those on this generation so you get a little bit more heat blowing to the back seat, so it keeps the back of the cab quite a bit warmer. You do get a full door for the rear passengers. They got their own power window switch. We got a little map pocket in here for some storage and things. So it's kind of nice to have their own separate doors rather than the suicide doors that kind of fold in on each other. On the back of the vehicle, it's got all the chrome packaging that we talked about earlier, like with the chrome 4x4 logo over there, the chrome Rams hood, dressed up. There's your backup camera built right into there. On the tailgate, you can see how it's dampened, so I made that standard too as well. So there's a little shock in here, and when you open the tailgate, it kind of lowers it down nice and gentle so it doesn't slam down when you open it up. The other thing too that's nice about going with the quad cab is you get the 6.5-foot box. So this is about a foot longer than the standard box that you're going to see on most trucks out there. We typically sell a lot of the crew cabs with a 5.5 foot box. 6'4" just gives you that extra space. So if you got a side-by-side, or pardon me, a four-wheeler, say, or a dirt bike, or you're hauling lumber or whatever, it's just nicer to have this little extra room back here. It just makes it easier to you know, kind of fit everything in. Little tow hooks or straps, sorry, to hook onto your if you got safety chains or tie-down straps and stuff, so you got some place to secure your load to. There's one in every corner, so lots of places to tie off your cargo to. You also notice that it comes with these little protectors on top of the box. That's standard on our stuff. The idea is being that if you drug a chain or something over here and gouged it up, you just got to buy a new panel instead of going out and get to the body shop and getting the whole top of your box painted and stuff. Also comes with fender liners. Kind of see it's got the built-in plastic fender liner tubs all the way around, so those are kind of nice. They help protect the inside of the box from getting damaged, rocks pinging in and beating up the inside of the box, so kind of nice to have that. On the inside, we've got power windows, power locks, power mirrors, so those are all your buttons right here to access that. The mirrors are heated too, which I'll show you how to turn that on in a second here. That's kind of nice, keeps the fog down and stuff when you're driving. They don't ice up on you. Automatic headlights, basically just flick it into the auto mode. As soon as it's dark enough out, your headlights are going to turn on. Got a little button here for your dash brightness for your speedo. This is kind of neat new for the e-brakes. Now you just pull that on. That's how you engage your emergency brakes. And then to take them off, you just put your foot on the real brake and then push the little knob away from you. So you don't have any pedals or cables getting seized or any of that kind of stuff anymore. So it's just they're not all rusting out and everything underneath you. So it's kind of nice to just have that. Cleans the floorboards up a little bit too. So over here you got a little joy pad that controls everything in your center dash. And a nice big tack. You got a nice big speedometer. Like some of the screens here, we'll just kind of scroll through them. You've got your speedometer here, and you can also switch between miles and kilometers per hour just by hitting the OK button. So it's kind of a nice, easy way to adjust that if you ever end up going to the States. Vehicle information screens. It's going to tell you like your tire pressure, how much your idle time is, all your gauges, anything to do with the vehicle itself. Fuel economy. Got a couple of different screens there that you can access. You can reset one. And you can see you can still have I guess they've both been kind of reset. But you got two different screens. You can reset one and keep the other one. So if you're trying to keep track of, say you want to say, you're keeping track of your fuel economy over the course of a month, and you want to say, well, I wonder what the difference would be if I just, today drove 10 kilometers an hour faster. How much more would that cost me? And you can just reset the first one and not lose all your data. Same thing with your tripometers. There's two of these. There's this one here. And then it still keeps your information on the second screen. So it allows you to keep track of two different things at the same time. Next screen we're going to go to is your start-stop. Basically, this is just kind of an information screen. This is when you're sitting at a stoplight. Basically, what the vehicle is going to do is it's going to shut off. And then as soon as you take your foot off the brake, it's going to use that etorque that we talked about a little bit earlier. And it's going to spin that cam up. And it's going to use that to make the vehicle take off when you start to drive. So the nice thing about the system that Dodge has come out with is it doesn't engage a starter. So you're not going to be wearing your starter out like some of our competitors where the start-stop is always, banging into that flywheel and stuff like that. So you're not going to have to worry about that. Audio just tells you what you're listening to in the song, that sort of stuff. Messages is check engine lights, low tire pressure light, your key fob battery's dead, all that kind of stuff. It'll show up there. And here's where you set your screen setup. You can go in here and you can go different things. I'm going to change the compass here because I never use the compass. I don't care where it is, but I do like to know what time it is. So you can see now that I've got the temperature in the top left and the time on the top right. So if you don't like that, you can always go back in and change it yourself and customize it. And then we go back to the speedometer screen. Okay, over here we got our cruise control, set, coast, and resume. You've got a gear shift selector that's got an 8-speed automatic transmission. So when you put it in drive, it's an automatic. It's just going to shift by itself, but it'll use all 8 gears unless you just use this minus button, and that'll make it shift down. So you're only going to tell it, well, you can only have access to 6 gears, 5 gears, 4 gears, 3 gears, and so on. So you can use it. It's kind of like you can almost say it's like a manual transmission. It's not quite, it's a bit different, but because it won't let you over rev the engine where a manual could. It's just it's for downshifting basically. I use it a bit when I'm pulling trailers and stuff like that. I like to be able to downshift. 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. You just press the button. You've also got a neutral disconnect in the middle there that you can press. That's super handy if you're going to pull this behind a motorhome. You put the vehicle in neutral, and then you hit that neutral disconnect, and it disconnects the whole vehicle, so now you can flat tow it on all four wheels, and you just got to get on them fancy tow bars. Auto start stop, that'll disable that feature that we talked about where you're sitting in stoplights and it's going to automatically shut off. That's how you disable it from there. Down here we got a couple of USB ports to plug our cell phones in and charge. You can also use these ports to use them as an auxiliary import. So if you had it plugged into the top one, and you could say access USB port 1, and it would play the music off your cell phone, for instance. Traction control and tow haul mode, you can just disable those features if you're not using them. This just opens and slides out. You got a nice coin holder. Nice deep tray, too. Like, there's a lot of room in here for some storage, so if you want to tuck some things in there, you can. Heater controls, pretty straightforward. Your fan, hot and cold, where you'd like the air to blow. You can turn on your heated mirrors just by hitting that button there, and that's how you activate that. On your stereo, pretty straightforward. AM, FM radio. You've also got Sirius XM. You can check what type of radio stations you want to use, AM, FM, and then Sirius XM. This is your media ports, so if I had my phone paired up, it would show up in there, so you could use the play my music off my cell phone if I wanted to. You just got to connect it and pair it up. Recommend that you do that. It makes it a little bit nicer. This is where you pair your phone as well. You can kind of use both. Compass just tells you what direction you're heading. If you don't want to have the radio on, you can do it that way. And then you got your settings screen. And this is where you get to customize your vehicle. Decide, you set your clock. You can get in here and play with your brakes, for instance. If you're going to service them, you can access this. You can apply your auto park brakes. You can get, it gives you access to some of the stuff that you need for those sorts of things. Audio system, this is where you change your equalizer, your balance, your fader, all that kind of stuff. So anything to do with your vehicle can kind of get in there and play with. Overhead, power sliding rear windows right there. And then this is where you open the little tray here to keep your sunglasses out of the way so they don't get damaged when you're leaving them in your vehicle. All right, I think that's it. Like I said, this is kind of probably one of the more basic trucks you're going to find out there right now. So if you're looking to keep the cost down on a new vehicle, pretty much all the nice stuff is standard equipment now. When I started selling cars, the full-down armrest was a big option on the Lariats. So a little bit different nowadays. So like even the basic trucks are pretty much loaded right up. So give us a shout. Come on down. Take this truck for a drive. They've done a very nice job with the redesign on the Ram 1500. So we hope to see you soon.